Okay, am I good? Can you hear me okay? And I'm not, no weird feedback or anything? It's kind of dark in this corner, but I'm okay. We'll just roll with it, right? Okay, I am going to mute everyone really quick. Whatever, Scott. Okay. No, thank you. Oops. All right, guys, welcome. So glad that you're all here. Thank you for joining us, and those of you that are joining us by phone that I don't see your faces, your lovely faces, I appreciate you guys being here, and those of you who are listening. I am in gorgeous Mahwah, New Jersey right now on Diamond Club. I've been spending a lot of time on the road, been here since Friday, so it's been lots of fun. So I'm kind of, my computer's been giving me a little bit of glitches, and I'm in the corner at Becky's house, and I would flip the computer around and show you Becky, but we're all, maybe she'll poke her head in a few minutes and say hi to everybody. But I get to be in her living room today as we are working together all week, so that's really great. Because of a little bit of technical difficulties I've had the last few days while I've been traveling, and then a few things last week as I was getting out of town, I feel like I wasn't very concise in getting homework posted for you guys. So I know that if you listen to the call, you know what the homework is, and I know several of you have reported back and have asked me questions and things like that, but we are going to spend a little bit more time on the homework at the very end of the call, and then I am going to make a commitment to you guys that I'm going to be posting it a little bit more concisely on our Facebook page, and I'm going to actually be reaching out a little bit more this time for accountability, because I think it's all real good when I'm all real good. That was really good language there. It's helpful if we all are posting some basic things. So I'm hoping as we start this class out, the biggest thing I'm hoping is that you got really, really clear on what your goal is between now and the end of the end of the year. What are you going to do? What is your ultimate goal that you're going to accomplish before December 31st? And what does your calendar look like? What days are you working? What weeks are you working? What weekends are you going to give to doTERRA? And what weekends are you scheduling family time in? Because as you know, I think we all work. Work is important to us, but the reason why we do this and what's the biggest draw for all of us is so that we can spend more time with our families or doing the things that we want to do. So hopefully we're all scheduling that time in first, and we're learning a lot about scheduling during this. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the homework at the very end, and I'll probably open it up for some discussion about starfish and just hearing a little bit about from each of you if anything's jumping out. So you might want to be thinking about that. So going right into talking about our schedules, and hopefully you're all booking classes or you're starting to book classes. On our very first call, we talked about our list of 100 names that we're all working on accomplishing, and hopefully you're all done with that by now. If you're not and you still need some memory joggers and things like that, shoot me a text, shoot me a message, and I'll try and help you come up with some ideas of where you can find more names. Facebook is a great place, your Instagram accounts, anyone like that, anything like that, try and pull together names from there, because now's the time when you're going to start reaching out to those names and really start pulling in and scheduling some classes. So when I'm getting real about what my goals are for the rest of the year and what I want to accomplish, there's no way that I can do this without scheduling events. And so the one thing that I'm going to put out there for all of you guys to do is I want you all to schedule, and we'll review this at the very end of the class too, but I want you to all schedule 5 events before the end of the year, 5 classes. And again, some of you that want to move at a more rapid pace, that may not be enough, but I at least want you to try and schedule 5 events on your calendar. Or if you want to break those down and do one-on-ones, if you're not quite ready to do classes, then I totally get that, and you need to start doing the one-on-ones. I totally feel like if you are only using the monthly events that your team's putting on, or 2 times a month events, and you're just trying to bring 1 or 2 people to those, that is a great way to keep people educated and to get people educated and to introduce them to doTERRA. But if you really want your business to take off, you have got to start holding classes and getting other people to host those classes. So you may start with just hosting one yourself and then branch into getting other people to host for you. But that's a really big thing. I think that when I started my doTERRA business quite some time ago, I had been doing Pampered Chef a long, long time ago before I got back into real estate again, when my kids were really small. And of course, that was the name of the game. I did 2 classes a week without a doubt. 2 classes a week without a doubt. That was just my schedule. And there was no ands, ifs, or buts about it. During holiday time, I probably ramped it up to 3 or 4 because it was the most, it was the busiest time, and sales went through the roof during this month, November, and the first part of December. And doTERRA is no different. People want to purchase doTERRA. This is one of the biggest corporate times of the year. So don't be thinking that you should just rest on your laurels and wait until January 1st. Take advantage of this doTERRA selling season. This is a great time to jumpstart your doTERRA business. So I'm wanting you to go through your list and get 5 classes on your schedule between now and the end of the year. And you may even want to say now and December 15th, because people are kind of done with the shopping and things like that, or trying to be done by the 15th in order to enjoy the holidays with their family. Hold on one second. I'm just getting some messages here really quick. Maybe I'll have Becky text them back for me really quick. There's a few people that can't get in, so let me just quickly text this. Sorry, Becky. Hold on. Maybe I can just do this really quick. Okay, so when I've talked to a few of you that are struggling a little bit with how to branch out and how to get people really interested, and you're exhausting your list of people and there isn't anybody else in your town, this is the key way that you're going to branch out, is by getting other people to host shows for you and start reaching out to their sphere of influence and their friends. What I'm going to encourage you to do is, if you need an extra incentive to get people to host classes, do that. I'm probably going to put myself out on a limb a little bit, and I might have a few leaders texting me and saying, what? But I'm pretty sure that you guys all have an incredible group of leaders here on this call, or will be listening to the recording, that would all chime in and be willing to help with this. But if you need your upline to do some helping with incentives, you need to let us know. Right now during Diamond Club, one of the biggest incentives that I'm doing is if you will do a Diamond Club class for me, and if you will have 5 non-doTERRA wellness advocates in attendance, you get a diffuser. And I give the pedal diffuser away. That's what I bring to them at the class, and I give it away at the very beginning of my class so that people can see the host get that, and I'm more than willing to book classes off of that class by giving them the same thing. That's exactly what I did in Pampered Chef, and it's exactly what we need to do in this class right now. I know that there's several Blue Diamonds that have based their business off of following this kind of system by continually getting people to host classes, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a couple of seconds. So tons of great ideas right now for classes. We talked a little bit on the last class about how to try and keep it simple, try and really focus on your one-on-one class, and maybe do something a little extra. But this time of year, it's really hard to not want to do some sort of a holiday open house or try and do some fun things around the holidays that might just get people willing to host a class for you or attend a class that they wouldn't normally do. So I am putting together right now a couple of different holiday open houses. I'm stealing Karina's ideas for 12 Days of Christmas. We're doing some make and take classes, and as I pull that all together in the next couple of days for some November classes, I am more than happy to share those ideas with all of you. Just shoot me a message and let me know that you want them. It's a great time to show people gift ideas, and maybe one of the incentives you can give them is if they spend a certain amount, you will give them the artwork for the tags, or whatever's easy for you, but keep it simple and try and utilize that. Some of the notes that actually I'm doing a class on Wednesday night back in St. George, and we're doing a witch potion class. We're basically just doing a basics class, but we're going to make up some stress-free roller balls and give to everybody. And, you know, of course, the invitations that she's doing talks about witch's potion and all that kind of good stuff. So get creative. You can still do a basic one-on-one class, but just get a little bit creative with how you sell it and how you get your host involved with all of it. So you've booked your classes, you've got them on your list, you're ready to roll with that. Oh, by the way, as I'm just looking down, I know out there, I've never done one of these, but again, reach out to me and I can point you in the right direction. But there's Oils of the Holy Land, a wonderful class that you can do at Christmas time. I've actually seen tear pads for it. There's all kinds of things out there if you look and get interested in, you know, doing that kind of thing. Okay, so you've got your classes booked, they're on your schedule, and now you want to make sure that you're building attendance, and that's super important. It's called host coaching. I actually spoke at a Pampered Chef convention in Chicago about 10 years ago about host coaching, and it's key. It's key to your growth that you actually coach your hosts prior to the class. I have Ian, my infamous marketing director, making a sheet that I'm going to put on Facebook. I'll try and get it done by the end of the day today, but I'll put it out there for you guys to pull. But it's a sheet that you can pass along to your hosts to have them list the number of attendees that they want to invite to the class so that they can stay on top of them. And it will also be on there a reminder to everyone that only 25% to 30% of invited attendees will come to your class. I can't tell you, even in Diamond Club, if I forget to do this part, my class is a failure. A lot of times people will say, well, I invited 5 people, and I can't believe that we're only getting 1 person coming. You can't invite 5 people. In a typical class, you've got to make sure that you're inviting 25 people or 20 people and then reminding them consistently throughout in order to get 5 or 6 people in attendance. So a couple suggestions for you. You want to make sure that you get your invitations out 2 weeks to 10 days in advance, if at all possible. You will hear with Edge Success in the tapes that they put out, the audio information, that they believe that a personal invitation goes a long way. And I think that we have found that too, that if you can hand deliver an invitation or talk to somebody in person as opposed to just popping one in the mail or doing a Facebook invitation or whatever, it goes a long way. The other ways of inviting people should be backup. It should really be your secondary situation as far as texting and invitations and Facebook things and things like that. So get the invitations out. And then what you want to do is you want to do 3-day reminders. And I would really encourage you, especially going into this holiday season, that you do the night before reminder, or this is what you're coaching your host to do. Oftentimes, you know, you're only doing this if you're hosting the class yourself. And then you're wanting to do something probably the morning of as well. And that's where texts come in handy. I know that when I was doing Pampered Chef years and years ago, texting wasn't even an option. It was calling them on the phone because we just weren't texting back then. I'm old, and we weren't doing that then. So you need to, personal invitations are going to go so far, getting them actually on the phone or encouraging your hosts to get them actually on the phone. We talked a little bit, so I will get that sheet posted so that you have that. We talked a little bit about at the class and what we're doing last week. So I want to just kind of go over that with you just a little bit again. I did do some updating or some looking online, and the Edge Success program, if you Google Edge Success or if you go to Aroma Tools, their stuff is updated with the new enrollment kits, and their enrollment forms are updated with the enrollment kits as well. I'm quite sure from everything I've heard and seen on the Diamond Club page that Class in the Box is not updated yet. You're still using the old information, and it's supposed to be updated by the end of the month. So for right now, for instance, my class that I'm doing on Saturday night, I'm going to be using the Natural Solutions flyer just because I still have them. And we'll be getting, this is probably the last class, and then I'll try and make some decisions on which way I want to go. But a couple of options. if any of you are familiar with Class in the Box, this is the Class in the Box form, which like I told you the other day, don't love this, but we'll use it if I need to. And I don't know, I can kind of see Brooke. I don't know if Brooke do you use Class in the Box, Brooke? Sorry, hold on, let me unmute you really quick. Okay.
I just used it. I don't like it. It's not my favorite.
Okay.
But I guess I don't even really follow it, frankly, when I use it. But
Okay.
it's something for them to take home, and I know it's compliant. So,
Okay.
of course, that's the hard part. But
Right.
so, no, it's not my favorite.
That is the hardest part is, I think I can hear my grandbaby in the background, which is awesome, because I miss him. Anyway, so I agree. Karina sent me, and I don't know if any of you have seen this one right here. Again, I sent an email out and didn't get a response yet, but this is actually one that the winner of Diamond Club last year, I think it was a year ago actually, designed. She was very frustrated with when she was doing Diamond Club when she was trying to get tear pads and they were out. This has been through compliance. It's compliant. The only problem is it's not sold through Aroma Tools or My Oil Business. If you're interested in this, I do love it, but I'll have to give you the email address of where you get it. It kind of was a difficult process getting them, but she promises to have them always in stock, but I don't think they are updated again. So I am just printing off, and I'm like Brooke too. I don't actually follow the tear pad. I cover a little bit of it, but again, it's just something for them to take home. And like we've talked about before, the easier you can make it, the better. But what I've done is I just have my, I've printed off the enrollment kits, and I just slip those inside the tear pad that I'm using, so that they can use those. And then I'm just kind of writing in on the enrollment form, which I'm sure that's what you guys are all doing as far as preparing for your classes. So I think it's really important too that when you're setting up for your class, you are really careful about what you're taking. You don't want to take too much. If you take a ton of stuff, it overwhelms people and they don't think that they can do what you do. They think, oh my gosh, it would take me forever to build up that much inventory. I don't understand all of those products. I think even my huge case of oils can be daunting and overwhelming at times. So I've even scaled that back a little bit. I don't have it out where everyone, I'll pull it out if they want specific oils, but I don't want to overwhelm them. So what I will usually do is I will have the vitamins out on the table. I will have the family physician kit out on the table. I will pull out a few specific oils that I know I'm going to talk about. For instance, I always pass around peppermint and wild orange at first. It's just what I do. And maybe a few other oils I'm touching on. I've brought a couple of the new products lately, but again, I still haven't really brought all of them. I just don't want to overwhelm people thinking that, our whole idea here is to educate, but also make sure that people don't feel overwhelmed and feel like they can't do what we're doing. We want them to see what we're doing and think, oh my gosh, I can do what she's doing. And then I hand that out to everyone, but then I'll tell you my very key thing that I do at my classes, and again, this is going to be posted in Facebook today for sure, because I already have it made up, but this is my door price slip. And this is something that is based completely on what I did with Pampered Chef. When I was doing doTERRA, when I started my business a while ago, I wasn't doing this. I was treating it very different. And it was an aha moment for me, and I think I've shared this with you guys quite some time ago, to hear Diane Shepard in the Phoenix area, who was a person in Pampered Chef who did very well in Pampered Chef, and she basically took her Pampered Chef system and applied it to doTERRA, and she just soared. And it was amazing to think, oh my gosh, why was I not doing this? So I do not hand these out at the very beginning of the class. They don't go in a folder. They don't get handed to people as they walk in the door. And this is why. If you hand them out at the very beginning of the class, they don't know you. They haven't experienced doTERRA yet. They haven't experienced the class yet. And they're going to sit and fill this out while they're waiting for the class to start. And they're just going to check no, no, no right from the very beginning. And that's not what you want. So I have these with me, and they're ready to hand out at the very end. So let's talk just a little bit about opening, doing the class, and closing. As far as your opening's concerned, we all have our specific ways that we open our classes, but I think it's very important, 2 key things that I try and do at all my classes. First of all, I try and put them at ease about how much time I'm going to take doing this class. I think that's very important. I think people can be sitting there, and when you start to go into doTERRA, they think, oh my gosh, how long is she speaking for? So I will usually tell them that start to finish, I try and be around 35 to 40 minutes, depending on questions. And usually, you know, I'll throw something funny out there and usually say this presentation will only be 2 hours and it will get everyone laughing or whatever. They're shocked at first, but I will just let them know, I ease right from the very beginning that this is going to not be an all-night thing, but that it's very informal, that my goal is to educate them and help them know about essential oils, help them understand how to use them in their daily lives. And then at the very end of the class, I am not here to pressure you to buy anything, but I will spend a few minutes at the very end of the class telling you how you can purchase these, because I guarantee that by the end of the class, you're going to want a little bit of all of this. But I do put them at ease. I don't want people sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, you know, this is going to be a high pressure sales thing. Something that we used to do again with Pampered Chef, and one of my friends that's on the call right now reminded me of this a few weeks back, and I've started doing this again too, is that I share with them the order form in the TerraPad or whatever I'm using, and I let them know that they can certainly use that as a wish list. By all means, it's not an order form, that if they write anything down on that, it is it's their order form. But to use it as a wish list, as I'm talking about oils and you want those in your home, start circling things. Most of us can't afford to get everything all at once, and this is a good sheet for you to have to every time you come to a class to add a little bit more, to learn a little bit more, to ask questions a little bit more about some of these products and oils. So hopefully that makes sense. So the body of the class, again, you know, I keep it pretty brief. I try to focus on items that are in the kits. I think that I can tell my kit sales go down and people end up wanting to just order miscellaneous items when I don't focus on the kits. So I absolutely love the fact that we have those 3 new kits right now. I think that it's awesome that we've got the diffuser, the less expensive diffuser in one. I love the fact that we have the Deep Blue, the athletes kit, the vitamins, and all of that stuff. So I try and really focus my classes on around those. Obviously the family physician kit, but upselling to the other kits as well. But then closing, oh, by the way, well, I shouldn't say there's so many because there's less than there's ever been before, but there's a lot of links out there that I think are great links for you to watch and see how other people are doing classes. So if you want me to share any of those, again, message me and I'll get you some of those. There's the one from the TerraPad that I was showing you a little bit ago from the woman who won Diamond Club a couple of years ago or a year ago. There's a few other people out there that have posted how to do class in the box classes. And I think that that's really beneficial to watch different styles and see what's most comfortable for you. Scott and I were talking just the other day when we were driving down from Massachusetts, and I was looking at the magazine, and I thought to myself, you know what, you could really do an entire class by just using the magazine, not the catalog. I know that there's people who actually have posted about doing classes just from the catalog, but I think you could develop a class just off the magazine, and how easy would that be for those of you who are maybe new to this and are trying to figure out exactly what your style is and what to do. Closing. I think it's really important that we ask for the business. You have to be willing at the end of your class to let people know how to order and what loyalty rewards is all about, but you can't overwhelm them. This is a part that's difficult because it's not to keep bringing up Pampered Chef, but it's a little bit different. The animal is a little bit different than just placing your Pampered Chef order for food choppers. you have to kind of explain the loyalty rewards order. And I make sure I'm very clear in my classes that you do not have to order every month. You can have a wholesale account and not order every month. That's very important, I think, for people to hear that. However, this is why you do want a loyalty rewards order, and this is why you want to change your order every month. Brooke and I were on a call a couple of weeks ago that I thought was a pretty amazing call with a woman who was teaching us on how she sells LRP, and I want to talk about that just for a minute. She basically explains that she is not asking people to put any additional money into their budget for doTERRA. She's actually looking for them to replace existing things that they're purchasing, like laundry soap or hair shampoo or things like that, that it makes more sense to buy from yourself through your doTERRA account than buy at Walmart or the grocery store. And plus you're purchasing incredible products that are much healthier for you. But her system is, she obviously starts off by just selling them on a wholesale account, which is, of course, I think we probably all use the Costco analogy, the $35 a year, blah, 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 blah. Loyalty rewards, it's like a rebate. You know, we're used to getting a rebate from Sam's Club or Costco or wherever. This is the same type of thing if you choose to do an LRP. But what she actually does that very night is she gets them signed up, and then she says to them, I am so excited that you are going to be using doTERRA products. You are absolutely going to love them. There's so much I want to tell you that if I sat here tonight and told you everything, I would absolutely overwhelm you. So I would like to schedule a time with you 2 weeks from tonight, or, you know, give or take, and let me put it on my calendar right now where I can call you on the phone. I can go over the products with you, find out how things are going, and find out a little bit about your questions and explain to you a little bit about the best way to earn products with doTERRA for free. And she has her calendar right there, and she schedules the appointment with them. And she gives them a couple of options. I have Thursday afternoon or Friday morning, the 2nd and the 3rd available. What would be a good time for you for a 15-minute phone call? And then every single day when she gets into her office, she looks at her calendar and she looks at who she needs to call that very day and do her first intro call. Super important. I think I confessed to you guys a couple of weeks ago, or maybe even last week, that probably my biggest weakness, my greatest weakness, is follow-up. I get myself so busy and so overwhelmed that I'm really great at getting the classes booked, and I'm really great at getting everybody signed up, but I struggle with the follow-through. So I think it's super important that we get systems in place to make sure that we're doing that, because it is overwhelming, and you don't want to go to all the work of getting these people signed up and using the product, and then they're never ordering again, or they're drifting off in no man's land because there's no follow-up there. So you need to actually schedule that appointment. The other thing that I thought was really awesome that she does is she at that call, then she will put into her calendar, after she helps them get their next loyalty reward order up, is she actually will schedule a follow-up 2 days prior where she will send a text reminder to them when their LRP is going to go through, which is amazing to me. And Karina, our upline, you guys hear me talk about Karina all the time, and hopefully most of you know her, but that's what she did with me for years. Before I was building doTERRA, I was an avid user. I would order every month. I would forget to change my order, and there was always a text message that came from her that said, you know, your order looks like it hasn't changed. Do you want me to log on and change it for you? I was so willing to do whatever she needed me to do, because I appreciated that so much, that even when I got those calls from her now and then that said, hey, I need volume in your area. Are you interested in ordering more this month, or could I order something on your order with you? I was so willing to help her, just because I so appreciated her customer service and her follow through. I think a lot of us get really nervous about that. We think that we're bothering people, and we have to get over that. I don't think we are. I think if we do it in a very helpful way, I think people really appreciate it. I think that it's just really hard when you try and go back to somebody that you haven't spoken with for 3 months and then ask them if they can order, or are they ordering, or why are they going inactive, or whatever. It's that upfront customer service that's so important that we're all doing. And I know it sounds crazy, but with any business, You have to do that with any sales job. There's always follow through. There's always those types of things that you have to do. The other thing that she said that I thought was absolutely amazing is she owns a wellness center. And so I think it's a little bit different for us. And hopefully Brooke can chime in too if she wants to share anything from this call, because it was so, I'm going to unmute you guys. So anybody that's got little kids running around, you might want to mute yourself. But she talked about, because she has the wellness center, she goes through a lot of lavender and peppermint and lemon. She shares those items or sells those items out of the wellness center. And I think any of us that are building businesses, we go through a lot of those items too. I mean, I'm giving away prizes at shows and doing incentives and helping my downline or doing whatever I need to do. So I go through lavenders and lemons and peppermints. And she trains her people that if ever they don't want to order 100 PV, if they will just throw a lemon on their order or a peppermint or a lavender on their order to take it over 100, if they don't need those items, to stop by the wellness center and drop them off, and she'd be more than happy to pay for them and buy them from them. That was a huge aha moment for me, because I am so willing to do that. And if I had people calling me and saying to me, hey, Sue, I'm only going to order 60 PV this month, but I'm going to throw on a couple peppermints for you. Is that okay? Are you kidding me? I would be more than grateful to not have to call and beg them to order 100 PV. Brooke, what are your thoughts about that? I mean, I thought that was pretty amazing.
I think it's great too, because I never will ask anyone to spend more money than what they are needing oils for me to rank advance or for me to get my bonus. I just won't do that. But I'm more than willing to add to their order personally, and whether I'm paying them the money, you know, my catch is always you get the points that you earn for whatever I purchase. But I actually had a girl call me the other day and said, hey, I just want you to know, I know you've called me a couple times, but my order is going to be a little bit less, and I'm ordering at a different time than I usually order. Like, she was giving me the heads up, which was so nice. And I didn't need her order to be a certain amount for this month, but it would have been great if I did, because there have been times where I've needed her account to be at a certain number, and she's calling me and asking me, you know. And so we talked about it. It was kind of weird to her. She's on a team that the leader's kind of taking a step back for now, and so I'm kind of stepping in as that leader for this team. And apparently it was always weird with that leader. And I'm like, no, it's not weird. I'm more than happy to pay for it. I don't expect you to. And I just wanted to open up that to her, that it was not weird to me, and talk about it so that she was comfortable with it, you know? So I do that all the time. And I have a constant list of what I would like to order or what I want to add in. Trust me, I have a huge back stock. I don't need anything, but there are certain times of year, like right now, I will always throw in a bottle of On Guard or something that I know people are going to need last minute, you know, and I'm always more than willing to pay for that. So, yeah.
Right. I agree. That was a huge aha moment. And I think, again, it's all about managing your business, and it's all about following up with people, because in any sales position, in any sales organization, you've got to be watching that. And there's nothing worse than having somebody in a key place slip through an order for $40. You don't realize that they've done it until after the fact, and then you're calling them and asking them if there's any way you can place a $100 order on their account. It's no fun, and it's a lot of wasted time. So again, you guys, it's all about the way we train our people. And I would welcome those incoming calls to me as opposed to my outgoing calls. So I think it's what we tell people. So obviously, end of the class, we're wrapping it up. We are we're signing people. You know, we're talking about how to purchase the products, the wholesale account. You know, that whole thing is happening. But at the very end of the class, I do my door price slips, and I just pass them around, and I say, we're going to give away some prizes. I have my little bag of goodies, my lemons, my peppermints, I break open the trio kits a lot of time and use the individual oils. I don't give away trios. I break them up. So those are the oils that I use, the less expensive ones in there. Because I usually use the class in the box and give everyone a wild if they RSVP with the host. I usually don't have wild oranges in my little dark door prize baggy goodie thing. But I explained to them that they need to fill out the door prize slip. We're going to give some prizes away. And on my door prize slip, it has their name, their phone number, and their email address. And I let them know that their email address is only for my own personal use, for getting back to them with education opportunities, things like that, that I'm not, that I'm not, selling their, if people are worried about that. But then at the very bottom of it, there's 3 questions. And the questions are, I'd like to get certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils at wholesale costs. And then it says yes, no, maybe. And then it says, I'm going to mute you guys again. I'm getting a little feedback. Then it says, I'd like to get doTERRA essential oils for free by hosting my own class and or sharing. And that's usually when I mention, you saw me give the diffuser to Jill, and if you're interested in obtaining a diffuser, you can talk to me about that afterwards, and I would love to tell you how, or other free oils. And it says yes, no, or maybe. And then at the very end, it says, I'd like to know more about becoming a doTERRA wellness advocate and business builder. Yes, no, or maybe. You guys would be amazed. Most of the time, my door prize slips are yeses and maybes. Down at the very bottom, the 3rd question, I'll get no's sometimes, but a lot of times they're pretty convinced that this is a pretty cool company and these products are pretty amazing, and they want to at least check maybe. And I view all maybes as yeses, because I think that if they are even remotely interested, they need to be treated like a yes, because if I follow up with a phone call, I can usually get them to book a class. So these are my golden little tickets. I have said before in a couple of trainings that I've done on this that I remember walking out of Pampered Chef shows, and I knew, how you have those nights or those classes where you feel like I just nailed it. I just feel really good about this, and I would get out of the class as soon as I could and reach into my apron, because I used an apron back then, and read, I couldn't wait to get in the car and read these and just see if I had any new signups or any classes booked. I would say probably the average of my classes that I do, I would say I probably booked 2 classes off a class. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, but that's the important thing, you guys. That's what you're focusing on right now. You are trying to get classes booked off of classes so that you can fill up your calendar. So super important. I've heard people tell me that they actually pass around a calendar, that they have it right there, that they can book that night. I'm probably not that organized. I usually have to call up people afterwards and get them on my schedule, but by all means, if that's something that works for you, do it. Okay, so again, you feel like you need help with prizes, if you feel like you don't have the stock yet, if you feel like you need help with diffusers, get with your upline, get with your sponsor, get with me, shoot me a message and let me know that you're struggling with that, and we can put a plan together. I can work with your sponsor, and we can make something happen. I feel confident that we are all in this together and we want this to work. Okay, so then obviously we talked a little bit about what Brooke and I were just sharing with you about the selling of the LRP and then the following up. Super important that you need to continue to follow up. And we're going to talk more next week about follow up. There's an awesome recording of Karina that I'm going to have you listen to, that she's the queen of follow up, and you all know that the fortune is in the follow up. That's just an amazing thing that you've got to do with your business. So we're wrapping it up. I'm a little bit over time now, but I really wanted to just go over the class with you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about homework right now and close out the class really quick. I really want to have you guys focus on last week's homework, like I talked to you about. If you have not done the your why and getting clear on your why, if you have not completely made your December 31st goal, you got to do it. And I'm going to post some accountability in the Facebook class or this Facebook page today. Your daily affirmations, I hope those are going really well. It's a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. You've got to have the right mindset again. And again, the biggest new homework that we need to talk about is booking your classes. And I'm going to put, again, some accountability on our Facebook page so that you can get your classes booked, and then let us know how it's going and what you're running into. I want this Facebook page to be a place that we can share ideas and share struggles and share wins and really support each other with ideas that will help each other. You've got a great group of about 22 people here that all want to see each other succeed, and let us help you. Let everyone help each other, but if you're not sharing on Facebook, we can't always share. And then lastly, last piece of homework I need to just let you know is to get your plan together for teaching a class. What feels good to you? How are you going to open? How are you going to close? What is the body of your class going to be like? And what's your personal why or your personal story that you're going to share with people in your classes? So again, we'll talk a little bit more about that next week as well as follow-up. So any questions or questions or comments while we are wrapping things up? I just unmuted everybody if anybody has anything that they want to share or ask. Anybody? You guys are all so quiet. Anything? No one? Okay. I will wrap it up for the day. We'll wrap up here in New Jersey on Saturday and be back in Utah and then off to Southern California. Love helping all you guys. I haven't made it to Kentucky yet, and I haven't made it to Oregon yet, but I will. And it's great to be out there meeting more of you guys and getting to know you through this class. I love it. I truly do. It helps motivate me as well. Everybody have a really good week, and thanks for joining. Talk to you later.